Can you check her one more? Thanks, buddy. Hey guys, Melissa and John. John just got back in. Hey,
I
John.
just got back in. It was another fire alarm here at the Archie Browning Sports Centre in Esquimalt, BC. John Cullen alongside Melissa Saligo for this 3-4 game between Kristen Ryan and Emily Bowles. And Melissa, we talked about this before the game, the oldest team in the field against the youngest team in the field. What are you expecting out of these two teams today?
Well, it's going to be interesting. Not only is Team Ryan the oldest team in the field, Team Ryan, but also they played 3 games yesterday, right? And just texting with a couple members of the team, their bodies are a little sore today maybe, so they're going to just have to put mind over matter and do their thing.
Yeah, it's, my body's sore and I didn't curl any games yesterday. So, it definitely is going to be a great clash out there. The winner of this game will move on to the semifinal tonight against Corinne Brown. The loser goes home. So, safe to say, Melissa, the ultimate stakes here.
Absolutely, and you know that Emily Bowles team, they are tough. They've had a really good resume at such a young age, and I'm really excited to see how they do today.
Me too. We'll hope the fire alarm doesn't go off again in the middle of this game. It's going to be a great one. We're so excited for it. And, I think, are they ready here? I don't even know what's going on behind us. This is a wild, wild
it's new.
ride.
A new precedent being set here tonight.
Yeah, I sprinted back in the building. I'm out of breath. And we're being told we got to talk more. So
we do.
They
got practice going on still.
Oh my God! What I was doing this like a 2-question setup method, but you know what? We're rolling with it. So Melissa, let's talk. Let's go ahead. Let's preview the semifinal a little bit. Corinne Brown losing to Clancy Grandy this morning. They're waiting in the semifinal tonight. What do you think Corinne Brown's doing today to kind of get ready and maybe recuperate for the semifinal tonight?
Well, you got to say, for Team Brown, they didn't have the best game this morning against Clancy Grandy, and they didn't have a great game against her during the round robin. So they need to really sit down, try and maybe just figure out some new tactics, how they want to approach that game tonight. I know they're not playing Clancy tonight, but really need to come out, kind of rebound, and put a strong performance in tonight.
Well, it's kind of a funny situation because last year the final was Clancy Grandy against Corinne Brown, and Corinne Brown went undefeated through the field last year, beating Clancy Grandy twice, beat her in the A final, beat her in the 1-2 game, and then lost the final. So maybe a chance for Corinne Brown to reverse the curse, as it were.
Exactly, and you can imagine they probably have that in the very back of their mind. But the most important thing for Corinne, she needs to put on a good performance tonight. They played well all week, and I don't expect anything less from her tonight.
Absolutely. Well, we will see what will happen here in this 3-4 game. Who will be playing against Corinne Brown? Will it be Emily Bowles or Kristen Ryan? We'll have that game for you coming up right after this. Curling fans, and welcome back inside the Archie Browning Sports Centre here in Esquimalt, BC, just outside of Victoria, our province's capital. John Cullen alongside 2-time Scotties champion Melissa Saligo for this 3-4 game between Emily Bowles and Kristen Ryan. Winner moves on to play Corinne Brown in tonight's semifinal, and the loser, well, they can take the long boat home.
Well, one of them can. The other one happens to live in Victoria, so they'll just maybe take a long car ride home.
I say should be forced to take the boat.
Okay, fair enough.
Get on the boat. You got to go to Tawasin, and then you got to sail all the way back.
Okay, I think that's fair.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that's, that should be the sort of standard. If the provincials are in Victoria, there should be a ferry ride at the end of it. So
that is true.
These two teams drew for Hammer, and Emily Bowles was victorious in that pursuit. So Kristen Ryan will be starting without Hammer here in the first end. Ryan will be throwing the Redstones. Bowles throwing the blue, and we talked in the pregame, Melissa, about this young Emily Bowles team. They were last year's BC U21 champions. 3/4 of this team just qualified for the U Sports Canadian University Curling Championships. So even though they're a young team, this is a young team with pedigree.
Oh, absolutely. And they've been very consistent, staying together over the last couple of years and getting stronger and stronger. They've added Logan Mirren as their coach this year, and Logan's done a great job with them. And they're curling out of the Victoria Curling Centre, so you can imagine there's a few people there that have been helping them as well, and I just love what I'm seeing.
Absolutely. Nothing better than a hometown provincials, especially when you're this young. And they've been great. I mean, we called their U21 final last year. We've been watching them here all week, and really great young team. Really poised and very fun to watch. And as we said, on the other side of the sheet, a lot of experience. I know before the game I said oldest team in the field. Maybe I should have said most experienced team in the field. Kristen Ryan and, Melissa, I know you know that team very well, having watched and worked with a lot of those players over the years. What are you expecting out of Kristen Ryan here today?
Well, I've seen Kristen play all week, and that team, they're so close on and off the ice, so they bring a different dynamic, right? They are really, really great friends, and they work hard. They don't play in a lot of events, but that's not their plan. Their plan is to practice hard, train hard, and then try and bring that top performance when they come to this event. And they've done that so far this week. They had a great start to the week, a little low ball in the kind of the middle of the pack there, and then rebounded with a big win in the tiebreaker. So I'm expecting them to come with an A game today.
Yeah, these two teams met in the final game of the round robin. They were both sitting at 3-3, and with the way the standings had shaken out, the winner of that game was going to automatically get into this 3-4 game. And then the loser, Kristen Ryan, could have been out. If Taylor Reese-Hansen had beaten Clancy Grandy in the last round robin draw, then we would have seen Taylor Reese-Hansen move through the playoffs, and Kristen Ryan would have been out. But unfortunately, Taylor Reese-Hansen lost that game on the last rock, which pulled them back into a tiebreaker with Ryan, and they won that last night. And it looks like these two teams trying to get settled here with the ice, looking like they're happy to maybe blank this first end here with what we've seen so far.
Yeah, and I can imagine with our little interlude that we had with the fire alarm that maybe these teams just need a minute to maybe rebound, rethink, refocus. And then, well, we saw a flash there, but, just trying to play it easy here in this first end and maybe just regroup.
Yeah, so an unfortunate flash there from Mara Harris, the lead for this Emily Bowles team. So this will allow the Ryan team now to potentially lie 2 in the rings, or maybe put up a center guard. Not sure exactly what they're doing here. Sounds like they're going in. Yeah,
it sounds like they're going about top 4 towards the middle, realizing they don't have Hammer, so they're happy just to put another one in. They'd love to be able to force Team Bowles to take a single here in this first end, and with that early miss, it is possibly setting up that way at the moment.
So nice shot there from Megan Yamamoto. We'll set up a hit and roll here for Gabby Brissett. Gabby is on that U Sports team that represents the University of Victoria, and also had a pretty great provincial result not too long ago, about 3 weeks ago, in the BC Mixed Doubles Championships, with her partner Sterling Middleton. Made it all the way to the final before losing to Corey Chester and Taylor Reese-Hansen. But for such a young player, Melissa, that's got to be a big boost of confidence coming into the 4-person provincials, having such a great run at the mixed doubles.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, you look at Gabby's resume right now, that is exactly what happened. And they had a tremendous week at the mixed doubles and just came up a little bit flat against a very strong Chester and Reese-Hansen team. But then they went on to play in the Canada West Championship, came second, got that opportunity to go to the U Sport. So yeah, Gabby having a terrific year.
And that'll stick right there for Megan Yamamoto. 2 nice shots. And again, we'll see Gabby Brissett try and roll this shooter somewhere in the vicinity of that red one in the 12-foot.
Yeah, ideally maybe a nice hit and flop right in front of that other redstone that's in the 12-foot. Make it a little bit more difficult for Team Ryan to have to remove it.
Maybe a thin double here.
And there it is. Wow, great
Very
shot.
Nice from Gabby Brissett. Not sure they were trying that, Melissa.
Plan B.
Plan B, yeah. You throw it outside a little bit, maybe you make the thin double, and bail your teammate Mara Harris out of some trouble there, and looks like the blank is back on for Emily Bowles. We get our first look here at Shannon Jonice. This team is out of the Golden Years Winter Club. Kristen Ryan at skip, Shannon Jonice at third, Megan Yamamoto at second, and Kirsten Fox at lead.
Yeah, Shannon's got a great resume herself, obviously, and it's just a strong player. She's always played the third position, front end a little bit, mostly that third position, and she's so strong at it.
We'll get our first look at Meredith Cole here. This team out of the Victoria Curling Centre, as you said, Melissa. Skip Emily Bowles, third Meredith Cole, second Gabby Brissett, and lead Mara Harris.
You know, one of the things we've talked about so much this week, and we'll talk about it, I'm sure, all weekend, is the tremendous ice conditions that these teams are allowed to play on this weekend. Mike Merklinger and Cody Hall have just been fantastic with the ice. It has been so fast, 15 and a half. It's been curling both ways, 4.5, 5 feet sometimes, and it's just been awesome.
Let's get a good look at local hero Matt Tolley enjoying some of the adult beverages on offer here at the Archie Browning Curling Centre. His team was an unfortunate loser last night to Brent Pierce in the men's C qualifier. And that game is going on right beside this one, so you may hear some incongruous cheers, and that's because Brent Pierce is playing Jason Montgomery in the men's 3-4 game. We'll keep you updated on that one as our feature game continues. So another open hit here for Meredith Cole.
The one thing that we've seen so far is that the teams with these kind of ice conditions are trying to throw that nice softer hit weight. It allows the brushers to come in. That one was maybe a little more than Meredith wanted, but if you throw that nice control weight or nice board weight, it really brings the brushers into play, and it's a lot more accurate than throwing the high hard ones on ice that is so quick.
Yeah, you were talking about the ice, Melissa, being 15 and a half. For those people watching at home who maybe curl in their club, how fast is 15 and a half in relation to maybe club curling ice?
I would say normally I think most clubs are around that 13 and a half, 14. If you're lucky, some clubs are less than that, and that's the time that the rock travels between the two hog lines. So you can imagine here, so this is going to be a draw by Kristen, and you can just see how soft she actually has to push out of the hack to throw about a 15 and a half. It is, and then she's going to let it go near the hog line, as you can see there. And that's how slow you as a person have to throw out of the hack in order to put that kind of speed on. And that's where adrenaline really comes into play, as we'll see later in this game, right? As people start to get nervous and stuff, adrenaline starts to be a factor, and that's about controlling it and controlling the emotion, so not overthrowing these stones.
So a little deep there from Kristen Ryan, but I don't think it's going to matter early in the game. Emily Bowles is going to hit this. So first stone here in the first end for Emily Bowles, an open hit, just looking to keep the blank alive for her young squad out of Victoria.
Just looking for the nose hitter, just maybe a little flop to the other side. Great shot there. Just move the stone around a bit for Kristen.
So Kristen will be looking to stick around here with this final stone for her in the first end to force Emily into a hit for the blank. Kirsten Fox trying to bring that one over to the nose, but won't quite get there. So it'll be a free blank here for Emily Bowles to keep the hammer into end number 2. So that rock will slide through the house, and we'll slide to our first commercial break. You're watching the BC Women's 3-4 game live on Check. So a bit of a cautious first end from both teams there, Melissa, and I wonder if we'll see things pick up a little bit here in the second.
I would imagine so. I think both teams had a little conversation during the break, and I imagine they're both trying to decide what to do. And I would think, just looking at Kristen now, is putting the broom down for a short, tight guard here to get this thing started in the second end, and I think that one just slips in. So tried.
They tried. I mean, of course, Emily Bowles would have the option here, Melissa, of throwing a corner guard, but it does look like they are going to hit it.
Yeah, they might, for Emily, she might be thinking about maybe delay corner just simply because this rock is in such a good position right now. So that's a possibility. I think if that guard was short, that rock was short, she would have come around. So we'll see what happens here if she can hit and roll to the wings.
So Emily apologizing. Sounds like she might have thought she put the broom in the wrong place, and that one will roll out for Mara Harris. And it does look like, Melissa, they are trying to put the guard back up with this one.
Yeah, definitely trying to get that center guard established. Trying to get this also to touch the center line, John, for make sure that the no tick rule is applied.
Yeah, so what is that, Melissa? I know that some curling fans may be not used to or not familiar with the no tick rule, but most events now using that. What does that mean?
So any rock that is touching the center line in the free guard zone cannot be ticked or moved off that center line until the sixth rock of play. So you want to, when you are throwing those all-important center line guards, especially if you're down in points, you really want it to be touching the center line at some point just to protect it in the first half of the end.
Well, and as a lead, I know too, Melissa, it makes your shots a little trickier, because if you're ever tight to the broom and you just nick that center guard, it can cost you your entire shot.
Exactly. That's so important. And, the leads over the years, John, has been interesting, and you'll know this because of your, lifer.
Lifetime lead, yep.
But you'll know that it is. It's the lead positions are getting harder and harder because they keep changing the rules, adding a few rules. And again, what you just said, right, it's a big one. So not a bad shot there by Team Bulls. It does slip behind the tee line, so that isn't the most favored position you want to be in. So it does give Megan Yamamoto a chance here to freeze right to it on the button. Trying to get shot rock, and what a perfect shot. Great shot by Megan.
That's 3 for 3 for Megan Yamamoto so far, and you may notice if you're a longtime BC curling fan, that's a name change for the former Megan Daniels, a former Canadian junior silver medalist with her sister Sarah, who has since retired from the game, but Megan got married this past summer and is now Megan Yamamoto. And I'll say this, fun to say Yamamoto.
It really is,
a little
isn't
more
it?
fun to say Daniels. No offense to Ernie and Jackie, but Yamamoto as a commentator is a more fun name to say, I think.
And Gabby, what a great shot by Gabby Brissett. No mistake, just followed Megan's rock right down. And just a small little tap. Good positioning stone right there.
Yeah, looks like we're in it now, Melissa.
We are
with
indeed.
These 3 rocks all lined up on the center line and all behind that center guard. And we'll see if Megan Yamamoto can follow that one down.
So this is all about establishing the angles right now. You want to keep the rocks, number 1, in front of the tee line, but number 2, you want to angle your rocks appropriately on your opposition stones. Team Ryan's going to work very, very hard here to try and keep Emily Bowles' team to a single point at the very most here. And this looks pretty good if it doesn't tick off.
Yeah, this may be just a smidge heavy, and it didn't quite get the finish they were hoping for. So this is setting up okay here for Team Bowles. We were talking with actually Brent Pierce before this game, Melissa, and he was actually telling us about, how good the ice is, but also how weight sensitive it is, and that if you're even just a hair heavy, it can really affect the line of the rock. And I think that might have been what happened with Megan's rock there. I mean, it really was only about 2 feet heavy, but just didn't quite curl to the face of that blue stone.
Exactly. Such a great point, John. And obviously Brent saying that earlier today, and it is. It's very, very sensitive. So that rock at Gabby's just didn't curl enough. They were hoping to get to the inside or the center line side of that stone.
Yeah, great opportunity now for Team Ryan to lie 2 behind cover. And again, maybe a little bit of that weight control, right? Maybe a little more than they were expecting from Gabby, and it just hangs right there.
Yeah, I think I heard that maybe half weight on that, and I think she threw more of a board. So huge opportunity here for Shannon Jonice now. For Shannon, this is all about placement of the stone, the line of the stone. If you put this one biting the button, that is absolutely perfect. Top 4 is perfect. Even if it's light, that's not bad either, right? This is about the tolerance of this shot.
Here's rock, yep, keep going. Yep, hard. Hard. Keep going. Keep curling it, yep. Yep. Keep pushing, push.
Oh, what a beauty.
I missed it, sorry.
Really nice spot there from Shannon Jonice. Sounds like Emily Bowles is going to be forced into the run back here.
Yeah, you're looking at those 2 red rocks, John. It looks like they're edge on edge, so she would love to be able to access the one in the forefoot, but probably can't take a risk at this point. So now it's about running the red short guard and angling it onto those red stones in the forefoot area. Big shot here for Meredith.
Yeah, I would love to get a piece of at least one of these in the rings.
Great
And
shot.
Very nice. Gets rid of the top red and leaves her own right out front.
Yeah, key point there, right? Leaving her own out front, so if she gets to play it again or has to play it again on her next shot, it is her own stone this time that she's running back.
So repeat of the same shot here for Shannon Jonice, looking to freeze on top of that red shot stone.
Oh, yep, it's gonna come now, yep. Right here, right to my broom. Line's really good.
Same tolerance here, John. You don't want to be heavy.
Okay.
Anywhere on the lighter side of this is okay, but wants to curl another foot. That's pretty good, I think, as well.
Yeah, nice pair of shots there from Shannon Jonice. And it's red, lying 2 without the hammer here in the second.
And I like this call now by Emily. You heard her say back 4 weight. That's way more important than throwing some sort of hit. You can again see edge on edge, but if she can ever get to the face of the stone that was just thrown by Shannon, maybe even a little inside tuck, and just tap those red ones back and kind of separate them a little bit, she may have an opportunity on the skip stones here to make something happen. So big shot here for Meredith, just back 4 weight. It's got a lot of curling to do it right now, though.
Yeah, this looks like a little heavy from where we're standing.
Yeah, this looks like almost back line to hack weight, actually. Oh boy.
That's goes to show, not a great shot there from Meredith Cole. Just yeah, quite a bit heavy, and now this is really shaping up nicely for Team Ryan here without the hammer.
So a couple options here, I would say, for Kristen Ryan and her team. She can do exactly what Shannon did on her 2 rocks. Bring it right into the 4-foot, freeze on those 2 reds. Maybe not what you want to do. You could throw it top 8, kind of half around the blue guard. You could throw it out front, but then you leave the blue run, which you probably don't want to do. So I think ultimately halfway between the blue guard and the 2 rocks in the 4-foot or on the button might be the best choice.
So first stone here for Kristen Ryan in the second end, and has a chance to really put some pressure on Team Emily Bowles. And the sweepers think this is heavy too, Melissa.
Oh boy, waiting for it to make its move. She doesn't want back 4.
Line is great. Keep it clean on it.
Coming down now. It looks pretty close, John. Trying to get to the inside of the red if she can a little. That's a pretty darn good result.
Great shot.
Lovely. Great communication there by Megan and Kirsten as well. Letting Shannon know what was going on with that rock, what the weight call was. Perfect execution.
Running here. Yeah.
So all of a sudden, Emily Bowles facing 3 with her first shot.
Yeah, Bowles team in a heap of trouble here. Really no option but to run that blue stone, her own stone, back. What do you think, John? Maybe nose onto nose here might get 2 going?
Yeah, I think the back red is always jamming on that back blue right by Meredith Cole's feet there. But yeah, certainly you could make this straight back. You'd make the double and you could sit your blue right there. And there's maybe a possibility you'd even be shot if you move that red stone far back enough. So we'll see. No doubt a crucial shot here for Emily Bowles. Has to make contact with something in the house. Mara Harris on this right out of the hand, and
over curl.
Yeah, looked like Emily might have turned her wrist over there, and it is now Kristen Ryan still lying 3 without hammer.
Wow.
And I think even if Kristen doesn't throw this, it's hard for Emily to score.
I agree. I completely agree. So again, lots of options here for Kristen. Put it right back on the center. I'm not really sure how Emily Bowles would score. Bring it in a little closer might be a little easier just to get some things running. So probably just short would be perfect, just replacing that blue guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where yours is. Yours was, I guess. 6.5-ish? Okay. Okay.
6'9" and change.
Okay. It should take its sweet time to come over, but it will get there.
So final stone here in the second end for Kristen Ryan. And it's been a great end for the team from the Golden Ears Winter Club. Looking to put a cap on it here.
Clean it.
Okay. Great, hard clean. We're over curling. Hard clean.
Are we to it? Yeah, we could
Whoa,
be.
whoa, 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 whoa. Gotta stop. Okay, 14-9.
So maybe a little deeper than they would have wanted there, Melissa, as this maybe at least gives Emily an out to not give up a million.
Exactly. So
Which
that
one
one
counting
not
that?
only came in too deep, but it obviously over curled as well.
Yeah, so I was saying 4. Because like we can play.
So having a look at it, John, it
Hopefully you're gonna
looks
go
like,
through and skip 'em
can
one,
she
maybe?
grab all 3 here? My worry, though, is that this rock right here
Even like.
will actually jam on the
Yeah,
one that's just
right?
underneath
Who do we
Meredith.
wanna play here? Guys,
So
come look at this.
can she even throw enough weight, do you think, coming in here and just with a soft weight and just move things around to maybe cut them down to 1 or 2? It's really, really difficult shot here for Emily Bowles.
Yeah, I think it's either that or
Like
you
you'd love to
just
keep the shooter
throw a
around,
cannon
but-
Yeah,
at this
blast it.
red
Yeah,
one
it's
on the
really
right
fun.
of the screen.
Yeah,
as you're
here.
this one right here.
And then
And then just hope you get 3 of them.
Yeah.
I think the best case
We'd
scenario
rather hit
here
it
for
thin
Bowles
than
is
hit
you're only
this
giving
side.
up 1. That's
Like
never a
here
great
then.
never a great situation to be in as a skip.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at both of those scenarios, John, I actually think that, your suggestion seems to
jamming right?
be,
Oh, no,
because
it's
you
fine.
want
It's-
everything moving to the
Whoa.
left as we look at the screen, so it might actually be the best to hit that one that was just thrown by Kristen.
It doesn't hit.
It's tough no matter how
No,
you look
not
at it, eh?
I don't like looking at
Let's
it,
just make it.
to be honest with you. Yes, I'm a little curious what the call is here, because this
Yeah, what's the clean?
maybe they're thinking
For sure, clean.
maybe they're playing what you were calling, Melissa, to kind of hit this red one just on the nose and sit there.
Yeah, but if you see where the broom is, I think she's going to still throw about a normal weight, maybe control, but I feel like it's still going to spin off with that kind of weight. You'd almost have to throw like a hack to get to the nose of that red stone and move things around, and that might not even be enough. So here we go.
Final stone for Emily Bowles, facing 4 Kristen Ryan counters. Needs some magic here to not give up a bundle.
Something.
And she will give up 3. So in the end, only manages to get rid of 1 of them, and it's a massive steal of 3 for Kristen Ryan. We'll see if Emily Bowles can find her way back in this when we come back. Well, it's the dream start here for Kristen Ryan, losing the draw to the button, starting without the hammer, and now starting the game scoring with a big 3-ender in end number 2. Melissa, we know it's a young Emily Bowles team. If you were in Logan Mirren's position right now as their coach, what are you saying to them in between the ends to try to maybe calm them down after what was, quite frankly, a very tough end for for Team Bowls.
Yeah, very much so. And I know that Logan would have said to the team exactly what you just said. Stay calm, stay composed. You're down 3, but it's only the second end. We have 8 ends to play here, and it's all about getting a deuce back here. You definitely don't want to give up another steal, but if you can get 2 back on the board, you're going to be in great position moving forward. So try and score this end and try and just get some control and get some momentum back.
Yeah, I think that's one of the beauties of 10-end curling, right, Melissa? You know, and I think when you come into tournaments like this, after playing most of the year, you play 8 ends. I think that's another thing coaches can always say is, hey, look, you know, it is a 10-end game. We've had a tough start, but there's lots of game left, and you get 2 here, and you're right back in it.
Oh, absolutely. And I know there's a big conversation up there about the 8 versus 10, but I'm not going to lie, I like the 10, and you may be different because you commentate a lot on the circuit, so yeah.
Both are good.
You're neutral.
I'm neutral.
Attaboy.
If they get, I'm the Switzerland of how many ends we should play. I'm the Benoit Schwarz van Berkel of how many ends we should play. I like the 10-end game, but I'm also, if they ever made it where all games were 8, I think that's fine too. I wouldn't mourn the death of 10 ends probably.
I might. Yeah, I think so.
It's fair.
Yeah, and Elaine, I was talking to Elaine Degg-Jackson about it yesterday actually, and I think she would mourn it as well.
Yeah, well, you two are a little more experienced than me, so maybe it's a generational thing.
Ooh, I feel like you just called us old.
I said experienced, Melissa.
Great call here by Emily Bowles, ignoring those 2 stones. I'm totally ignoring John Cullen right now. Ignoring those 2 stones in the middle and trying to either throw another corner or even get around that corner. Does come up a little light. I think her initial call was tried to come around, but still a good position.
Yeah, so Ryan lying the 2 here, and I think going to put a cap on it here with the center guard.
Yeah, probably looking for a nice tight center.
A little bit. Okay, line pretty good. Yep. Whoa.
Oh, they're either. It looks like they might be tapping. Yeah, trying to tap this center line 1 straight back or just a little on an angle, but it might be over curling there, John.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad, for sure. Very much control.
What do you think was the rationale there for maybe tapping over not putting another one out front?
Well, I think they were feeling like they needed to get one into the 4-foot, but I think it was a little early. I maybe would have suggested throwing the center guard first, and then you'll have a chance to get one into the 4-foot after, but because of what happened here now, it does give Bulls a tiny out. They have 2 great corner guards. They have a chance to play a hit and roll here now. But again, look at the weight on this. I think it's just too much weight. I think the girls are just throwing that little up weight, and they want to bring it down a bit. They've been throwing that control weight most of the week that I've seen, and maybe just little nerves right now.
It's a weird kind of angle here.
Yeah, especially that shot there. You roll out, and it gives Kristen Ryan a chance to peel the corner guards if she wants to, and that sort of effectively kills your end with the hammer. So I think you're right, Melissa. Just maybe a case of needing to take a collective deep breath here and just and get a little refocus. And I think it's up to the teams, right? If the teams want to throw a little more hit weight and they want to throw that more consistently, I think that's okay. But if you're not making the adjustment with the broom, then you might have to look at switching it up.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. So it gets rid of one of the corners. That's good. So there's still a chance now, actually, that Emily could ignore these 2 stones. They're only in the 12-foot, so she could ignore them and try and draw around that corner, try and bring the play away from the center area. I would really like this on your second stones. A little bit too early, I think, to be so-called bailing. A hit and roll is very difficult on this ice. It's so precise. And you really don't want to roll out here if you are Team Bowls.
Sorry, Abby.
Yeah, so you heard them talking there, and Emily was apologizing to Gabby Brissett. Seems like she threw the rock well, but the broom maybe wasn't in the right spot. And almost sounded like they just were saying it's not going to curl. Like, we just got to trust that, you know, if we're playing this control or up control weight, it's not going to move, and we just have to trust that and put the broom where it counts.
Yep, exactly. I agree. So appeal chance here for Shannon Jonice.
Lost the Megan. Okay, whoa.
Here.
Here.
Here hard.
This will pretty much eliminate a good possibility of any deuce on the board here for Bulls, unless there's a miss later in the end. But
out and settled for one. And all right, sorry. Hello, curling fans, and welcome back inside the Archie Browning Curling Centre. 3-1 lead for Kristen Ryan. Emily Bowles had a chance after a Kristen Ryan flash to score 2, but she hit and rolled out of the house. And so it is 3-1, Kristen Ryan leading. And Melissa, this is our first chance to see Kristen with the hammer and up 2. Pretty good position.
very much so. She'll be very happy with that. So a nice tight center went up by Team Bulls. So Kristen is going to draw around that, try and get it above the tee line. You can see there was some conversations going on that we heard, and Kristen just got her first one going, and that's how she missed it completely and flashed it on her second one through an 8-2, very much a lot of weight, but managed to hit and stick on her second. So Emily Bowles just unable to capitalize, unfortunately, in that third end.
Yeah, certainly a big opportunity for Emily Bowles, an unforced error from Kristen Ryan, unable to capitalize, and so far has not been the sharpest game for the young team out of Victoria, but we'll see if they can find their way back in here. Sometimes, Melissa, you know this as a former competitive curler yourself, sometimes the hammer feels like a bit of a curse. It's sometimes kind of nice to see the other side of the sheet and maybe play a little bit for a steal and just have different looks coming down the ice, so maybe that'll be the case here for Team Bowles.
Yeah, such a great point, John, and we did talk at the beginning of that third end that really for Team Bulls, they really want to score. I mean, they obviously wanted a deuce, but most importantly, score, get rid of the hammer, and then try and make things happen here in the fourth without even trying to force your opponent to a single would be a small victory here. So great shot there, nice setup by Mara. Great pair by her at the lead stone.
Megan and Shannon indicating this one might be a little on the heavy side.
Yeah, beautiful shot by Kirsten on her first, and this one looks like just like you said, John, just a little more. So plan B, try and get it back as far as you can. They're kind of out of the way, and good audible there.
The men's 3-4 game is underway out here too, Melissa, and it's Brent Pierce, Curl BC veteran, multiple-time provincial champion, former Canadian and world champion as well, up against local heroes Jason Montgomery. And it was similar story for Jason Montgomery in that third end, had a hit and stay for one and rolled a little bit too far. So Brent Pierce stealing one, Pierce leading that one 2-1. We'll try to keep you updated on that one as our coverage here of the women's 3-4 game continues. And Gabby Brissett is going to hit this open red stone in the back four.
Wants to keep her shooter right there if she can, or maybe just a small inside roll. Doesn't really want to go towards the center line too much, though, because you want to make sure that you're not behind that red stone. And that's a pretty good shot there. So Kristen Ryan with that 2-point lead and the hammer is feeling a little comfortable here in the fourth end. So she's just going to head up and peel that, ask Megan to peel that center guard.
Yeah, yes! Hard. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Now they might be plan B of run back, and it actually curls past that too, so they make the peel on the other side of it. Got a little lucky, dodged a bullet there. And now we're going to see Emily Bowles go after this one in the house.
So this is an interesting call, and I understand why she's playing it. I mean, it looks pretty good when you can, hit your open blue one onto your red and sit 3. But you have to also remember what the game plan here is for this end. You're down 2 points. You might want to have thrown up another center guard just to try and force your. You saw her, Kristen Ryan, peel that guard before. She would probably peel it again. But now you've brought everything into the ring. So now the blank is potentially alive, and that's not what you want to allow Kristen Ryan to do.
Yeah, I agree. I thought for sure they would be throwing a guard there, but bringing it into the house, so we'll see if Megan Yamamoto can make the double here. And no
great
trouble.
Shot.
Very nice from Megan Yamamoto. Gets a roll in front of that blue one as well. And that's pretty much exactly the dangers you were talking about there, Melissa. I think the thing is, too, you know, if you're Emily Bowles, maybe you're thinking, well, if we miss the guard, but even if you miss the guard, you're still in a pretty good spot.
Exactly.
That blue one was almost dead frozen to the top of that red one.
Exactly.
So.
Yep. Yeah, agreed. I totally agree. They would have had to peel. If Kristen had played the peel, she would lose her back red one. So, yeah, just maybe a matter of choice there. But chance here now for Meredith Cole. She's going to play the hit and maybe a little flop towards the center. Might set up a double. You could roll pretty far as well. You could try and roll way over to the 8 or 12 foot as well. Make the double a little harder.
Nice.
Laura Harris brings that one just over enough, but yeah, certainly the double here, very, very possible for Shannon Jonice.
This side, Chan.
Just misses the back one, does Jonice, and so still an opportunity here for Team Bowles to get the force.
Yeah, it looks like Emily tapped top 12 foot, maybe top 8 at the very most. Try and keep these rocks separated as much as possible. They could also throw a tight center here and see what Kristen does. She may, elect to peel that guard and then come in on your second one, or your next one, pardon me, but tolerance would be lighter here anyway, so top 8, top 12, or just shy of the rings is good.
Okay, just want to be top 8. Top 8. Just top 8. 15, 6 on that. Nice, Mary. Good shot.
It's pretty much exactly where they wanted it.
Yeah.
Maybe a hair deeper than they would have liked, but
Yeah.
not bad. Definitely the double is here for Shannon Jonice, though.
Yeah, nice to get that draw weight, though, if you're Meredith Cole, like trying to get a good grasp on the weight for both of these teams, and that will help. So another double chance here for Shannon. Really wants to get this one.
Okay.
Yeah, just the one again. Didn't come up quite enough.
Kristen always having a good time out there.
Yeah, always positive.
Yeah.
You threw it great, Shan.
Yeah.
I'll just tighten it up for you. So great chance here for Emily now to get her draw weight and just maybe a foot or so lighter than Meredith's shot that she just threw. So again, just biting top 8 or full 12 would be great here.
Yeah, in the final round robin game between these two teams, Kristen had a draw to force it to an extra end with her last one, and she came up well short. And I've known Kristen for probably 20 years, and that might be the only time I ever visibly saw her show frustration on the ice. She's usually very, very positive. And speaking of positive, that rock a little too positive for Emily Bowles. That'll make a pretty easy double here for Kristen Ryan, and Just it's been one of those games so far for Team Bulls, and Emily in particular, Melissa, just seems like she hasn't quite dialed into where the ice is, both for putting the broom down and for her own shots.
Yes, very good points. And, you know, this is the fourth end. After the fifth, they'll have a great chance to have a conversation with Logan, their coach. Of course, they're meeting with him between ends as well. But it's just going to be trying to find a way to sort of change that mentality, change the way, get some more specific rock placements. There's a guy who knows something, I think.
That would be Shannon's husband, Dean Jonice, and Dean's daughter, Abby, right beside. And, yeah, Dean knows a thing or two.
Or used to.
He knows what it's like to play with me. Not very fun, probably, I guess. So first rock here for Kristen Ryan, end number 4. Looking for the double. Need to get that out. Can Kirsten Fox get it out?
Oh, is it
Wow,
out?
that is really close. And the crowd enjoying a shot from Chris Bayer. I mean, I do think they probably liked the sweep by Kirsten Fox too, but that's the local Victoria team, Jason Montgomery, getting a big cheer from the hometown crowd.
Yeah, terrific shot over there on the men's side,
We'll
as
get
you can
another
tell.
look at this one here as we see Kirsten Fox trying to get this one out, and it's really tough to tell from our overhead angle if that's out or not. It's really close.
It does look like there's a little bit of white, but I don't know, but
Emily
that meant
indicated that it was on. I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
So regardless, want a nose hit here for sure. If you're Emily Bowles and her team, and Kristen Ryan's the one who's going to have to make the decision whether to take one or try and blank and hope that that one isn't on. So first job here, ensure you get the nose hit.
We've seen the rocks under curl for Emily Bowles, and that one over curling on her there. Looked like maybe she just threw a little less weight there, Melissa, which is what we've kind of been saying for her to do, but curled a little more than they were expecting perhaps.
Yeah, and I think you might have mentioned it earlier, is that she just looks on her in-turn, she's just rolling it a little bit. She's not being very precise or a little pointed with her turn, a little positive with her turn. So just needs to sort of regroup, and she will. She's a great player, and she knows what to do. But by the way of what we see here, Kristen Ryan is very also in agreement that that rock is on.
So Kristen will look for the blank here. Just needs to make this blue one go away and roll out into the side foam, final stone. Megan Yamamoto trying to hold this one, and it will roll out. Put a couple zeros on the board. Kristen Ryan leads 3-1. Game between Emily Bowles and Kristen Ryan. Kristen Ryan leading 3-1.
Make sure you're on center line.
Kristen Ryan leading 3-1 with the hammer here. My apologies there for a little technical hiccup, but we are back. So Kristen with the blank in the fourth, and again, Melissa, we don't know if that rock was on the rings, but seemed like Team Bowls thought it was, and if it was indeed, it's a story of maybe another missed opportunity for the team from Victoria.
Yeah, very much so. You know, they had a chance to hit and stick, to lie to and force, which is what their end plan would have been, but unfortunately hit and rolled out. So here we are in the fifth end. And pretty much the same idea here is Team Bowls needs to start putting their foot on the gas just ever so slightly again. I would imagine that they just want to maybe force here if they can. They put up a high center, maybe a little bit too high, but it's trying to keep your opposition to one and get that all-important hammer back in 6 after the break. So we'll see how this one plays out. Nice high guard. That one of Kirsten Fox's does slip behind the tee line, so a little opening here for Team Bowls.
You have room right now. Line's close. Running. Top 4. Need to curl. Need to finish.
So Mara Harris would love to keep this stone above the tee line. Does look like it's quite a wider line than they were hoping.
Great brushing there by Gabby to bring that one over, and a nice result for Mara.
Yeah, a little deeper probably than they would have liked, I guess,
sure.
Melissa, but yeah, certainly not bad. So get a look here. Pretty big crowd out here in Esquimalt for this afternoon duo of 3-4 games. We'll be back with you again tonight at 7 p.m. local for the women's and men's semifinals, and then we've got the women's final tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time, and the men's final at 2 p.m. So if you're in the Victoria area, come on down, watch some fantastic curling here at the Archie Browning Centre. And if you can't make it, we'll be here on Check and CBC Gem all weekend long as well.
Trying to get this one right to the face. Good brushing by Shannon and Megan. Nice shot there by Kirsten.
Kirsten Fox, former BC junior champion. Making a very nice draw to the top button there, so we'll see if Gabby Brissett can follow.
Looking for the corner freeze here on that red stone, just thrown by Team Ryan. Again, we talked about this earlier. You don't want to do that, you know, that foot or two heavy and tick off. You want to get just to the angle, just to the corner of that blue one. But this one has a long way to curl, John.
Yeah, looking like a similar line to Mara's there, just hanging out a little bit longer than we're seeing these Team Ryan stones hang out. And obviously it's a little heavy and maybe a little wide from Gabby, and this is going to be a really good chance for Team Ryan to start to build an end with the hammer.
So they talked about just hitting and maybe rolling towards the center line. I'm not sure if they can actually get in front of that red stone, simply because that blue one's a little bit deep. They could also roll away and maybe catch the blue one that's in the back 8, but got to the nose. I'm wondering why they didn't maybe roll away. But nice shot there by Megan. I didn't hear the weight call here, John, but it looks where the broom is, it's going to be a nice soft weight. Maybe
they're calling hack.
Hack.
Yeah.
Like a little flop into the center. Ah, beautiful. Great shot there. Nice call by Emily Bowles as well.
Yeah, nice touch from Gabby Brissett, and you know we've been talking all game about them lowering their hit weight, and you see there with that hack weight just gives the sweepers a little bit more control, and that's a perfectly made shot from Gabby, and will force the peel here from Team Ryan.
No mistake there by Megan. Lovely. So
Yeah, very, very solid game so far for Megan. Sorry to interrupt.
No, not at all. You can hear Kristen referring to Shannon that she doesn't love the angle, which I don't blame her because the angles are favoring Team Bulls at the moment. And this is a nice call by Emily as well. In the end, previously we saw her actually come in really early here, but on Meredith's first one, I like the center guard here. Maybe force your opposition to have to throw another peel. Eventually you can make a play in the house.
Okay, a little more room.
And John, you want to probably split center here. Show the blue rock on the left there. You don't want to expose maybe the red stone. But this again has a long way to curl here. It's going though. Nice brushing.
Yeah, nice shot there from Meredith Cole.
Nice peel by Shannon Jonice.
Still Kristen Ryan lying the one. Another guard here for Meredith.
Let's make this.
And again, just remembering what the game or the end plan is for Team Bulls. You know, again, if they can force their opposition to take a single, that's great. That's a small win because they will get hammer back in that all-important even end. So no need to try anything too fancy here on your third, second stone.
Little wider.
I like this call.
Right now. Hard, Gabby. You're close. Hard, Gabby. Hard.
Looks like maybe a hair wider line than the last one. Gabby Brissett really trying to finish this rock. They need this to at least touch center.
Oh, great brushing. Oh, so close.
I think it just curled enough.
I don't have much of that blue, so I think we have to peel it. Okay.
Yeah, and there's the indication by Shannon. Great job by Gabby to get that one as close to center as possible.
Yep, hard. Yep. Hard, Gary. Yep, keep going. Push.
A nice shot there from Shannon. No mistake on the peel. And one thing you may notice if you're watching at home, Shannon has a bit of a unique head position when she slides. And that's because she discovered, and I was around when she discovered it about a decade ago or more, 15 years ago now. I'm getting old. She discovered she was left eye dominant. So most right-handed people are right eye dominant. And so when they're curling slide, they're focusing with their right eye. But Shannon was having trouble finding the broom using the sort of right eye dominant way of thinking and switched to, having her head a little bit cocked to the side so that she was seeing the broom through her left eye and said it helped her game immensely. So it's, it's a bit of a interesting look compared to the other curlers, but gets the job done. That's all that matters.
And I get to mock her because I'm right-handed and left-eye dominant as well, but I don't turn my head. So I get to mock her sometimes.
So how do you manage that? Do you wear an eye patch or?
I don't. I actually move my rock. I sneak my rock over a little more to the left so it's under my eye.
Because you want to look cool. You don't.
Yeah,
care
I don't
about
want to.
it, yeah.
I don't want to tilt my head.
Yeah, that's fair.
She knows I might once in a while make fun of her.
And that's to be expected.
Yeah, that's fair.
So Emily's going to come in the house here with the Kristen Ryan stone being shot, looking to just punch it out of the forefoot here. It's maybe a little more weight than I might have thought they would throw here, Melissa.
Yeah, want this to just get over more so they avoid that blue one, and that is a terrific shot by Emily Bowles.
Really nice.
Well done.
All of a sudden, they're lying 3.
So you heard the front end say there, John, should we have played that with more weight? And the reason they're asking that question is because 2 red stones are still in the rings. But, the key is here, you're lying 3. Here's another look at it. And I think that even if it curled another half inch, You might have avoided everything, but I think that's a pretty good shot, even though those red ones are still hanging around.
Yeah, I mean, my lean was that you'd throw less, actually.
Yeah, me too.
Because you want to make sure you just punch that one through. It's, it is nice to throw the weight that Emily threw if you hit it exactly where they did hit it to lie 3. But yeah, I think there was an option to actually throw less weight there. So
yeah, I would agree with you. And
We're going to double the top 2. Top 2, yeah.
yeah, so chance here now for a double. Kristen's facing 3 stones at the moment.
9.
yeah, as it was, Emily made the shot absolutely perfect, and so Kristen is facing 3, and this is just maybe a bit of the start of damage control here, as you want to try and give yourself at least a chance for one. So a big shot here for Kristen Ryan, the most pressure she's been under so far this game.
Yeah, probably the most difficult shot that she's had to throw so far. So looking for the double. Trying to get it to curl, at least catch the back one if she can.
Ooh, just drives it by. You could tell they didn't like it out of her hand, so I don't know if she was a little wide or maybe popped it a hair, but Kristen, right after she let it go, didn't love it, so we'll see what Emily and Meredith decide here.
Yeah, definitely a couple of options, I would think, John. They could play the hit and roll on the one on the shooter that was there by, which is the one they're looking at. They could come in and draw full 8 again right on the center and put a little more pressure on them that way, but I kind of agree with this shot. I think, again, the end goal is to maybe force your opposition to a single, and you really don't like leaving 3 opposition stones in the rings if you don't have hammer.
Yeah, if you ever came light, over curl a little bit, set up a double on those 2 blue stones, it could be a massive end for Kristen Ryan. So yeah, I agree. I think you can definitely go either way. I think some skips would play a draw here, but the hit is certainly a totally defensible call. Just have to make sure you stick around here for 3rd shot. If you roll out, it's a potential double for 3.
Exactly. So number 1, stick around. Number 2 would be lovely to try and roll to the center a bit if you could. But it looks like they're actually throwing the nose.
Right over then.
Pretty good.
Very good.
If I nose that, I'll be shot. Very close. Can't do that. Oh. I wasn't. What are we thinking on this side?
What do you think, Megan?
A bit more.
So Kristen has a couple of options herself here. There is the double on the top 2, but you'd be looking at giving up a single. I don't think there's any triple there by any means. They talk about playing the draw, which in reality, they can actually probably play to that back one, John. If we saw the overhead again, they could probably play right up to the face of that back stone, back 4 and B shot stone, I'm guessing. Shannon just had a quick look at it.
Wait down here. You guys like this? Okay, 14.
I think I heard 14, and 14 seems like that's
14-ish? Or a bit less? We just haven't played that many.
Well, it sounded like in Shannon and Kristen's conversation, they were talking about trying to use the backing, like playing a heavy draw right down to the blue stone.
Yeah,
That's
not my favorite.
it's a little
thing.
little dangerous.
Yeah,
a little dangerous.
come to it.
Just listen to Kristen there. I really don't like that thought process. You just want to throw this to the tee line, and usually there's a chance you're going to be maybe a foot or 2 heavy, knowing that there's backing. So I'm just curious as to the weight they're throwing here, 14. So I'm going to try and get a hog to hog on it if I can.
So final stone for Kristen Ryan, facing 3 Emily Bowles stones. Needs a piece of the button for a single point.
Hard. Yep. Looks like you gotta go.
And certainly looks like they're trying to throw the heavy draw here, Melissa, so they need to get to the face of this blue one.
Yeah.
And they will come down to the back one, and
Oh,
I
boy.
think it is shot.
I think it is I think
It's
it is.
close. They seemed pretty confident that they could come down to that back one, Melissa, but this is a lot closer than I was expecting.
I agree.
Well, you did time it, Melissa, and it was exactly 14 seconds, so Kristen's at least dialed into the time out of the hack, but it does look like we're going to get a measure here.
Yeah, and if you look at the 14, it was exactly like John thought. They were throwing that little extra weight to bump it. So I think for those of us at home and watching, it is 15 seconds hog to hog for that straight draw weight. But nice shot there by Kristen Ryan. I'm sure I saw Shannon have a quick look at it before this rock was thrown to ensure that this was a possibility to be shot. But it is a lot closer than I thought as well.
So we're going to have an official come out and take a measurement of it, and this is a pretty big point coming into the fifth end break here.
We've had a lot of interesting measures this week, John. We actually had 2 games, I believe, that there were ends that had no score. They had to call them blank because the rocks were tied.
Well, we'll see what happens here. This is certainly close. Could hear Meredith and Kristen discussing. Sounded like Meredith said that she thought it was them, but I always think it's me too, so.
Len Chillibeck is our official out there doing the measurement. Usually it's your thirds that are in the house, but Kristen is there having a look in replacement of Shannon, who's at the back taking a little rest. So the players are allowed to stand behind the official and make sure that they get a good look at the number. And here we go.
That is red. So the call from Shannon and Kristen was right. It will be 1 point on the board for Team Ryan. They will take a 3-point lead into the fifth end break. When we come back, we'll head back to Elaine and the Czech team to break it all down for you. Sort of here. I'm quasi here. I'm up here, and Elizabeth Bowles is down there on the ice. She's she's here. Emily's sister, and also a member of the UVic Vikes team that is heading to the U Sports Championship coming up in a couple months. And Elizabeth, first of all, how does it feel to be watching your sister out there? Probably a little nervous, I'm guessing.
Yeah, very used to watching my sister curl in games like this. Obviously, really excited. Love to see her out there with my friends, really good friends, and just hoping for the best. But yeah, it's really hard to be a spectator and not a competitor.
Yes, I feel you as well now that I spectate professionally. So it's it's definitely a tough one. Now let's talk about the UVic Vikes team. I know that you had an insane Canada West tournament. You won a tiebreaker to go to the U Sports Championships. Tell me about that team, how it all came together, and how you played at the Canada West Championships.
Yeah, so it's our second year playing together. This minus one player. We had Kayla Wilson last year, so we were a team of 5, and had a really great season last year, winning the Canada West Championship in our home club, Victoria. So this year we really wanted to prove to the Canada West world that we can show up again and represent as a varsity team. So the 4 of us this year came together with a new lineup. Mara Harris skipping, I'm lead, Gabby is second, and Meredith is the third. And yeah, we went out there and we just wanted to play our best, knowing we had a really long week ahead of us, but we knew we could give them a good game, and we knew we could win. So we got gritty, but I think it worked out pretty good. So we're really excited to keep the ball rolling. Heck
yeah, I love to get gritty. And what are you doing to prepare for the U Sports Championship coming up? I know it's in March. What are the things that you're doing to get ready for it?
Yeah, lots of things. I think this week is a really great week to watch the 3 of them play together, and everyone got some more throwing time in. I know we have a lot of practice time coming up for sure, with Alex as well. As much time as we can get as a whole unit would be great. And lots of time spent off the ice, working on some strategy, just getting all the little things down that keep our team steamrolling through the good stuff. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on winning the Canada West title, or at least qualifying out of Canada West. Good luck at the U Sports Championship from all of us here. I hope it goes great, and good luck to your sister, too, in the second half of this game.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello, curling fans, and welcome back to beautiful Esquimalt, British Columbia, the Archie Browning Sports Centre, home of the 2024 BC Curling Championships. It's the women's 3-4 game between Kristen Ryan and Emily Bowles. John Cullen alongside 2-time Scotties champion Melissa Saligo here on the call for you. Melissa, a 4-1 lead for Kristen Ryan, but Emily Bowles does have the hammer here in end number 6. What do they need to do to get back in this game?
Well, I can imagine they had a great conversation with their coach, Logan, in the 5th end break, and we can tell by the fact that they threw up the corner guard, and it's in a nice position, and they talked about the need probably now in the 6th end, not only to score, but they would be really great if they could get their deuce on the board here.
So 5 ends to go here. It is a lot of time, as you said, Melissa. It's only a 3-point lead, so we'll see if Emily Bowles can get that 2 points back on the board. A nice conversation with her sister there, Elizabeth, in the 5th end break. And, we so often see that in curling, Melissa, these curling families, brothers and sisters playing together. And I'm sure for Elizabeth it's a little bit weird to not be out there with her sister, but kind of nice they get to play together for you, Vic. And Yeah, it's just such a great thing about our sport, how many families are involved.
Exactly. I was actually talking to Emily and Elizabeth's mom yesterday. She was trying to relax a little. Of course, both the Bowles sisters were out here all week playing, and now just Emily in the playoffs. So, yeah, Mama Bowles is out there somewhere, I'm sure, with her husband Mike, and really trying to cheer on her daughter.
So that one comes a little bit deep for Megan Yamamoto. We often do see sometimes after the fifth end break, the sheet gets mopped, and sometimes it gets a little bit faster, and maybe we see that there as Kirsten Fox and Megan Yamamoto both sliding deep there. So a chance here for Emily Bowles, although I have to admit I'm a little confused about the peeling of this center guard here. You're down 3, and you have the hammer. I think that guard's probably your friend at this point in time.
I think it's not only your friend, John, but the fact that it was quite high up, it makes it even more so your friend. So first off, I love the way that Emily started this game. She threw the corner guard. Team Ryan throws one in, happens to slip behind the T-line. That's fine. She ignores it, comes in. They throw another one. And again, I'm like you. I'm not sure why she wouldn't have elected either to come around her corner again or even come around the center one with those 2 red stones behind in the 8-foot. So, you know, by peeling that guard, you're basically doing the job for Team Ryan and allowing them to, that's what they want to do with a 3-point lead.
Yeah, definitely a little bit perplexing because I think, if you throw a draw with Gabby's, even you draw onto these back 2 red stones, then Kristen Ryan's probably peeling the center guard. So bit of a strange call. And I guess they're hitting here to try to lie too. I'm not sure I didn't see what the call was.
I believe
exactly
so.
here.
They're trying to hit and maybe roll onto the other red stone. Again, Again, I'm pretty sure they would have had the conversation about getting some guards up in order to try and manufacture your 2. It's a lot harder to get to when your rucks are in the house and there's nothing up front here. So very, very interesting couple of calls. It started off good, but interesting couple of calls from Emily. I bet Team Ryan is pretty happy with that. They're just going to try and eliminate blue stones in the house.
So Shannon Jonice is first here in the 6th, just looking to hit and stay here. If you could get a little bit of separation between these 2 to prevent the double for Bowles, that's probably pretty good.
That needs to hang on to the rings here, but I think it's just going to roll out. So a little miss there for Shannon Jonice, half shot.
Yeah, now maybe the Bowles strategy paying off a little bit here as a hit to lie 2.
Yeah. Make this good.
Definitely looking just for a nose hit here, even maybe a little flop across the center to the left-hand side of the sheet as you see it.
Yep.
Number 1 job here, though, John, you have to stay in the rings here after this shot in order to have any chance at keeping this deuce alive.
That's right on the beak for Meredith Cole.
10. Okay, a little left, eh?
Just an acknowledgement there by Shannon Jonice. Maybe just threw it a little heavy on the previous one, so bringing her weight down just to about a 10, hog to hog.
Yep.
Nice control.
And a half. Okay. Whoa. Here. Coming. Good. 9-8.
And right on the nose for Shannon Jonice. So for Team Bowles, just
Same way.
business as usual here. Just hit this one right on the beak. Keep the 2 alive.
Good clean release. Yeah. Little tight. Here more. Oh! Clean. Yep. Oh, whoa. Too close. Mara. Yep. Hard roll.
And that's a great shot there. Just moves the position of the rock as well.
Time on that. Good rush.
So it is still Team Bowles lying 2 here.
Okay, 10. Okay. That's for a roll. A little roll.
Kristen Ryan is looking to repeat the shot that Shannon just threw, a nose hit.
Yep.
Megan Yamamoto on this right out of the hand for Kristen Ryan. And a good sweep there, is able to hold it, so that will hit it right on the beak.
I didn't like how I threw that.
And I think with where these rocks are kind of lined up, Melissa, nose is pretty good here, I think, for Emily Bowles.
I think so as well. She could actually even roll maybe just a tiny bit to the left as we're looking at it right now. It would make a very, very steep angle for any chance at a double here for Kristen. So not overly important to roll, but just ensuring that obviously she at least keeps her shooter in the rings here. So big shot here for Emily. She's been struggling a little bit throughout the first 5 here, so this would be a great shot for her to make and to get some confidence going into this last half of this game.
9-5. Whoa. Clean.
Again, we're seeing that elevated weight here from Emily Bowles, but this one looks a little sharper than some of her past efforts. Mara Harris will sweep that one in right to the nose.
Great shot.
And I guess if you're Kristen, you don't really have a double here, right? I think you're just trying to maybe roll behind this blue one, Melissa?
Yeah, I would say for Kristen now, looking at a possibility of giving up 2, I would be a little aggressive on this roll. You might as well. So maybe hitting, 3/4 and trying to roll as far as you can over towards that other blue stone, and maybe, who knows, might get shot rock by hiding behind it. So I would be aggressive. If you roll out, really no harm, no foul. You're at a point right now where you're potentially giving up 2 anyways.
Well, and I think, not that it's likely that Emily Bowles is going to miss a draw to the house, but she really hasn't drawn that much this game at all.
Great point.
So, if you play aggressively for the roll and you roll out, again, unlikely she'd miss the house with a draw, but it's not a shot she's thrown a ton of this game. So I agree with you, Melissa. Definitely want to look to be aggressive here and
Yes, Kier, go.
try to find that roll. Kirsten Fox bringing this one over and maybe just a little too aggressive on the roll. So it will be an open draw to the house for Emily Bowles, and I guess that strategy paid off, Melissa, as the miss from Shannon Jonice has led to a pretty simple 2, as it were, for Emily.
Very much so, and as you said, this is another big shot for Emily. She made a great one on her first, hasn't thrown a draw for a while here, so this is one that she wants to make it perfect, having a good conversation with her front end. And really, if she can make this perfect, it'll put two great shots together and also some confidence back in her pocket.
Anywhere in the house will do for Emily Bowles. Looking for her first multiple score of the game. Seems like Brissett and Harris like it. And Emily likes it too. No mistake, right into the 4-foot. 2 on the board for Team Bowles. The Victoria crowd loves it. Kristen Ryan will have the hammer in end number 7. Hello, curling fans. Welcome back inside the Archie Browning Sports Centre. The women's 3-4 game. Emily Bowles, with her first multiple score of the game in the sixth, has gotten the game back to 4-3, but Kristen Ryan with a 1-point lead and the hammer. And in the men's 3-4 game, a look here at Brent Pierce against hometown favorite Jason Montgomery. Montgomery leading 3-2 on the strength of a steal in the fifth end. But Brent Pierce does have the hammer. They're playing the sixth. And unfortunately, we see Cody Johnston just wrecking the guard there. So we'll continue to, Kyler Kleibrink rather. We'll continue to update you on that game as it goes on. But back to our feature game. A nice center guard thrown up there by Mara Harris. And for Kristen Ryan here, Melissa, obviously tough to give up 2 in that sixth end. An unfortunate rollout for Shannon Jonice. However, still in control here, up 1 with the hammer.
Absolutely in control, and it's a favorable position to be in if you're Kristen Ryan team right now. But we saw in the previous end that, similar to what we're just seeing right now, is this rock just maybe slipping behind the tee line. So Team Ryan really needs to find a way to redial in that draw weight. You don't want to be bringing anything in deep, and you don't want to be going high behind that tee line. So just a little bit deep there for Kirsten Fox, but not a bad position. And I think if you're Kristen and her team, it's all about maybe keeping this a little bit cleaner than you really want to. You maybe want to get hammered going into the eighth end, but they'll see what happens. If it happens to form into a multiple point end, they'll obviously take that as well.
Always good to have options, Melissa. I've always said that. And a nice shot there from Mara Harris. Doesn't quite get the roll behind the center guard, but lies in the forefoot.
So for Team Bowles there, John, they could have actually elected to draw up to that redstone that was in there instead of playing the hit. Maybe try and shrink that scoring area really quick here in the seventh end. But they elected to hit, and that's fine. So chance here now for Team Ryan to do the same. And if that one rolls out all the way, it'll be a little break here for Bowles. And there it goes. So great chance here for them now to get around their center guard. Top 4, top button.
Yeah, maybe starting to feel the momentum shifting a little bit here, Melissa. Team Bowles struggling to start the game, but look like they're finding their footing a little bit here. And at the same time, seen some kind of half misses over the last couple ends from Team Ryan. So we'll see how the back half of this game goes. Their game in the round robin was a 10-7 affair, so both these teams can put points on the board. But the sweepers here not loving this one from Gabby Brissett, saying it's in the back of the house.
So as we get to the last half of the game here, last 4 or 5 ends, you really have to dial in everything you can. This is about, peaking, so to speak, in this last half of this game. And really, when you get an opportunity from your opposition, getting a half shot or a little miss or something, you really got to start taking advantage of it. And for Team Bowles there, had a good opportunity. Unfortunately, was a little deep there on their shot. So now, slight advantage goes back to Team Ryan. Oh, that's a beauty.
Very nice from Megan Yamamoto. Played lead for most of her junior career, so flashing her lead bona fides there with a perfect come around to the top button.
Yeah, we're fine to be on the corner of this one.
Once a lead, always a lead, Melissa. That's what I always say.
So looking for the corner freeze here for Gabby Brissett. I'm hearing back 4, which is not what you want. Gabby was a little heavy in her first shot. And looks like she's thrown just about the same weight, even a little more here. So another small mistake there by Gabby. So great opportunity here now for Team Ryan. And Megan on her second shot just throws, if she can throw the exact same thing she did on her first, right to the face of her own red stone. Team Ryan will be sitting great here in 7 with Hammer.
Okay, on our own.
Got a brief look there at the official on the magnet board.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot goes into putting on these events, and that's we have one official whose job it is just to track where the rocks are on the sheet in case of natural disaster, things of that nature. And wow, that's a little surprising there from Megan. I don't know. She just threw one perfectly to the top 4 and then sailed that one through the house.
13-6.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there. They were obviously playing the draw, but they did try for a plan B. They did try to come to that blue one back 8, but again, this end is swinging back and forth here.
And this looks heavy too.
Do we want to hit this? Mara, just push it by.
Meredith's hoping that the sweepers will sweep for curl, but I'm not really sure that's going to help in any way. So because it is actually through weight, so that is another miss there by Team Bowls. We've had a couple misses here, both teams, John.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just the path that's fooling them. Maybe it's a little bit faster than some of the other paths on the ice, or again, that mop. The mop happened in the 5th end break. Sorry, we'll just take a listen here. So Shannon's going to come down and take a look. But yeah, I was just saying the mop, sometimes they didn't really throw any draws in the 6th end, so maybe it's still just an adjustment from there or just a tricky path. But who knows? We'll see what Kristen and Shannon decide here.
But then she comes here, right?
Come here, she's coming there anyway. And if you want me to go, it's hard to get here.
All the way around this way.
I think I come here, if I pump it a little bit, it's okay. The line's nice, just give it a little tap.
Great conversation there between Kristen and Shannon, and I love the call. The result, their idea they've come up with is just drawing.
And if the line's nice, we can just give it a little tap.
Yeah, Shannon just letting her front end know. So trying to draw to the red stone, and even if you could tap it a bit, that would be ideal. They're worried about if they just freeze to the red that Emily Bowles will come around everything and just freeze to her blue stone. So just a chance here now. Just even move your redstone that's top button even a couple of inches would be perfect. But number one thing is you do have to have the line. You really need to get to the face of that redstone, or as much to the face as possible.
So Megan Yamamoto trying to bring this one over. The weight looks closer than the last few rocks we've seen here, but will it curl enough?
Now trying not to leave it in a place where they'll give up a double here.
That's
oh boy.
It's almost the worst possible spot for that stone.
And interestingly enough, you heard Kristen say, I'm going to tighten you up a bit, Shannon, and she did. She gave her a little less ice, but still not enough. The weight was ideal. So huge opportunity here for Meredith Cole to make a double and maybe sit 3.
Huh? Sorry? Yeah. Wait, what? Think it's gonna curl up here, Em? I think a little bit. Do you want more?
So this is a massive opportunity for Team Bowls. They've been chasing the entire end, but a double here from Meredith Cole could reverse their fortunes in an instant.
Whoa. Curl.
Yeah, I really need to get to at least 3/4 here, John, to make both reds go away. Oh, this is way out there. Is it enough? Ah, beauty.
Pretty good for Meredith Cole. I think she would have loved to sit right there. If she had a little more curl on that, a little more inside, could have actually sat the blue right there. This give Shannon a draw path to the top 4 again. But yeah, definitely a nice shot from Meredith. And we've got final stone here for Brent Pierce in the men's 3-4 game. He's down 1 with the hammer. Looks like he's playing a chisel in off of his own blue.
No, he's actually just drawing straight to the button.
Okay.
John, that he's red sitting 2, and he was just playing a straight draw to the button for his single.
And that will come a hair heavy, so it's another steal of 1 for Team Montgomery. They now lead 4-2. And back on our feature sheet, a beautiful shot from Shannon Jonice. Perfectly buried around that center guard. Kristen Ryan lying 1.
So Emily Bowles has a chance here now just to throw the corner freeze on that redstone, just thrown by Shannon. And actually, you know, if you can get it in a perfect spot, there's really probably no opportunity for Team Ryan to be able to score 2 if it stands like that. If there's a little extra weight as this rock comes down and the line is perfect, you could actually even tap the red one ever so slightly into the open. But number 1 job here is just to make sure that you've got the perfect weight in line to corner freeze on that red stone, and then make a plan B if you need. You can hear top 8. That's pretty close. They can drag it farther. Oh, line is great.
Crowd urging on Harris and Brissett, trying to get this right on top of that Ryan stone, but it will come up short.
Yeah, fabulous brushing by Gabby and Mara. I think they went pillar to post on that one and just comes up a couple feet, as you say, John. And
so you heard from Meredith, that was 15-9 to the top 8. So ice has definitely sped up a little bit in the second half.
4.5? Yeah.
You did.
Right.
And it
You threw
came
on this
to
side
four,
coming home, and then Kristen just 13.8, and then
What do you think is the weight on this side?
14.5. So 4.
Okay, right to it. Make it.
And I think the thing here, Melissa, is that if Kristen makes this, Emily is going to be in a lot of trouble.
yeah, and Shannon and Kristen took a few minutes to have this conversation. They originally looked at drawing in on the other side and kind of blocking off the 4-foot button area on the left as we look at it. They know that if Emily Bowles takes a shot at the redstone as it is right now, it'll jam on those 2 blue stones at the back. So they've actually are going to come in the same way and freeze tap that red stone to continue the angle that's there right now. My only concern is there enough room on the button area, the scoring area, for Emily to come on that intern side and maybe get to the button here, depending on how much they tap this. So don't want to be heavy here. You just want to tap it ever so slightly, maybe a couple of inches. As long as line is good.
Yeah, sweepers are on this, really curling.
Oh, very much. Oh, boy. Plan B is maybe a guard here.
Yeah, well short. But they're lucky with where that Shannon Jonice stone is. It's not an easy shot for Emily Bowles to get shot, but definitely can drastically shrink the scoring area here for Kristen Ryan with her last.
And that's a good point, John. You have to think about it. If you look at the way it is right now, and if we get a chance to look at the overhead, the red stone is just biting the button. And so there's a good look at it. So for Emily, yes, sure, the idea here, you want to be shot, and that would be great. But if anything, you want to be on the lighter side of the button, maybe a top 4, because then how does Kristen get in there for 2? So if you can force Kristen Ryan to take a single here, that is massive.
So last stone here for Emily Bowles. And nothing at all.
Not sure she liked that one out of her hand there, John.
No, nothing at all from Harrison
Whoa,
Brissett.
whoa.
This is sailing.
It is indeed.
Okay.
So this is going to be a fairly easy two for Kristen Ryan, as she's got all the backing in the world for this draw. And yeah, Team Bulls could just never really get the measure of this turn. And in fairness, Team Ryan couldn't either. We saw Megan Yamamoto sail one through the rings on this turn as well. But yeah, that's 4 Team Bulls stones on this path, all too heavy. And it will be an open draw for 2 for Kristen Ryan.
Yeah, and it looks like Kristen has even tightened up the line a little bit more. So if for any reason she is on a little on the heavy side, she will have backing.
Let's go.
So a chance to retake the 3-point lead. Sweepers think it's a gun out of the hand. They're already saying they need backing. Already saying they need backing. Can Megan Yamamoto make it curl enough? Can she make it curl enough? Yes, she will. So Kristen Ryan perhaps overthrowing that one a little bit for weight, but tightening up the line was the key. They will retake a 3-point lead. 6-3, Ryan leads. Well, Melissa, we talked about the importance of shrinking the scoring area for Emily Bowles with her last one in 7, and unfortunately for her, actually widened the scoring area by coming deep and giving Kristen Ryan that sort of cushion, because she was a little heavy on that draw attempt, but they were able to curl it in there and pick up their 2 points.
Yeah, very much. And, you know, you really have to focus on not only where you want your shot to end up, but what is the tolerance. And needed a little bit more conversation perhaps on the tolerance. Anywhere light, it would have been so much more difficult for Kristen Ryan to have to get her her 2 there. So another little mistake by Emily Bowles and her team, and it's now a 6-3 lead for Team Ryan.
I'm guessing now, Melissa, we've been preaching patience, but down 3, 8th end with hammer. I'd have to imagine that Emily Bowles turns up the aggressiveness a little bit here.
Yes, this is when we talk about it already. This is the 8th end, and Emily Bowles with the hammer, in theory, have 2 hammers to 1. So this is when you need to start taking a little bit more risk and trying to get things going your way and putting up the corner guards. And you're going to probably have to ignore things that are happening in the middle for at least a little while, and really doing all you can to try and push this in to get a 2 back on the board.
So the corner guard up for Mara Harris, but I think a little higher than they would have preferred. Just above that Bel Air Direct logo.
Yeah, back 4.
Okay. Line's pretty good. Okay.
So Kirsten Fox will try to throw another one in the middle here.
Yeah, they're going to keep trying to keep the play to the middle for sure and just keep drawing and drawing to the middle. And when they get the chance, they'll head up and try and peel some corner guards.
So a little heavy there from Kirsten Fox, but not too bad. And we're going to see a second corner guard going up here for Mara Harris.
How tall there? On its own, 3. Top 12, top 8. No, I think you're big.
This is a good call by Emily, just trying to get another corner so that when Kristen has a chance to peel, there'll still be a corner there for them to use. But don't really want this to come into the rings here, but it looks like it's going to, and it will be buried though.
Yeah, Mara's struggled a little bit this game to find her her draw weight, Melissa, and that was yeah, a little heavier than they would have liked.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. Yeah, I kind of like that better. Feels like it.
Do you agree with this call, Melissa, coming in the rings here?
I would actually maybe, I don't mind, you have to come in the ring somewhere, but I don't mind if you come in the rings in the middle, or actually if you come and try and block off the corner guard side, so maybe freeze to that blue one and you'll have access to it a little bit later. But Kristen's very clear on what she wants to do, and she wants to keep the play away from that corner. But you actually heard Emily Bowles have a little conversation there that she's going to probably have to play the hit and roll if they keep piling these on in the middle.
It's a 10 year.
So they are playing the hit here, and
And I'm not sure what the weight call is, John, but if you're going to play the hit, that's fine, but you have to play it with really soft weight to ensure that your shooter stays in the ring somewhere.
it's not too bad.
Not bad, no. I don't think so either. You got 2 blues in the rings right now. That's key.
You like the nose? The nose or the peel?
I think if I was Kristen Ryan, I'd be jumping up to peel that pretty fast. Must be a Victoria team playing out there somewhere, John.
I think so. I think we got a couple playing out here, and yeah, it's I agree. You could certainly be peeling here, but maybe just concerned of having 2 blues in the rings. But the jam risk here is also so high, right through the middle for Megan Yamamoto. That was not an easy shot.
No,
but,
it wasn't.
She made it look pretty simple.
Yeah, terrific shot there by Megan.
Nothing wrong with chasing the rock in the top of the house if you just punt it through the middle like that, no problem.
There's another great look at it. Nice call and perfectly thrown. Well done. So another hit and roll here, hitting with the one closest to the center guard, corner guard. And this is going to go the other way here. Plan B.
Not a bad spot for that from Gabby Brissett. Does open up the potential run back here.
Don't mind it.
Okay, same as Meg, 10. 9.5, sorry, she threw 9.5.
I still don't like the corner guard being left there, but I get it. I get, you want to, it is a short run, a fairly straightforward run here for Shannon.
Yes!
Does she have a piece? Oh, great brushing.
Very
Woo.
nice from Shannon Jonice. Kristen Ryan lying 1. Only unfortunate part for them is with Shannon's rolling out now. Meredith Cole can hit this and Bowles will be lying 2.
Exactly. So great chance here now if they can hang on to this and continue to make some great shots here for Team Bowles. They might be able to get a deuce back on the board here in 8. Looks like they might be trying to roll under a bit. They could just nose it. That's a great shot. Nicely done by Meredith Cole. Would have maybe have liked to just, kind of bury a piece behind that red stone, and then Team Ryan would have a more of a difficult shot having to play the run back again, but
So no mistake from Shannon Jonice, and we'll see Meredith Cole try to repeat the feat here.
I think you either want to roll a little bit away from center and try and get away from your opposition having the opportunity to hit and roll behind their guard that's sitting top center, or you have to do the same. You have to roll behind there. So maybe one or the other, not just nosing it. They tried.
Yeah, very, very small roll from Meredith Cole. And should be said, Melissa, we haven't mentioned it yet, but Meredith Cole was the Sportsmanship Award, the Kay Giles Sportsmanship Award winner here at this BC Scotties. So congratulations to her. I know a lot of the women out here speak very highly, not just of Meredith, but of the whole Bulls team for their sportsmanship. They're always laughing and having a good time out there. And you see Emily often raise her broom when the other team makes a good shot, even for the front end positions, which you typically don't see a skip do. So, yeah, congrats to Meredith and really just to the whole team. Congrats to everybody, you know?
I agree. Just you're such a great guy, John. So nice. So glad you're back in BC for a short time.
Hey, happy to be here. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Trying to tuck it under, and now plan B, roll it as far over to the other one as they can. And just kind of caught in the middle there, John.
Like that. Yeah, nice curl here. Okay. Do you like that? Yeah. Got it. All right. Get the roll under the corner there.
Yeah, so you can see there, good look at it. That'll be wide open for Emily Bowles from the hack. And I'm guessing, Melissa, you probably want to
Nice curl, I think.
you want a roll of some kind here, either behind the corner or behind that sort of de facto center.
Definitely want to roll one way or the other, and I think I heard them say they want their preferred roll is behind the corner guard.
I would agree.
And by doing that, you potentially create an opportunity for three here.
Yeah, you want to go hard.
We have seen Emily's interns over curl. Can they hold it? And they actually overswept it a hair.
They did indeed. Oh boy.
Unlucky there. That was probably a made shot. But
Agree.
again, we've talked about Emily's intern has been a little bit soft at times today and has overcurled a little bit. And so I think that's maybe where part of the panic came from. But it is Bowles lying too, but there is opportunities for Kristen Ryan to get herself out of this jam.
Yep, right at me.
Yep.
Nice and clean.
Nine and a half. Hers curled quite a bit, but she's a bit different.
They got a little excited.
Yeah, so I think this will come up. And we can roll into, it'll roll into this.
My way?
Yeah.
I like it.
So Christian just having a conversation with their front end there and just ensuring that they're all on the same page here. Throwing a 9.5 here. Would love to roll towards the center.
Oh, Jesus.
9. Clean. Whoa.
So final stone, Kristen Ryan calling an audible here. Trying to roll underneath the corner. No. Rolling behind center, and that is
nice
a great shot. Very nice from Kristen Ryan. I think Emily can see enough of this to get at it. But really good try there from Kristen.
Yeah, very much so. And it looks like Emily can see just all of it. So she's throwing about 11.5, about hack weight.
We get another look here. Kristen Ryan almost bailing out of the hack, but recovers in time. So yeah, good look at it there. You can see from the other end, Emily Bowles can see about 3/4 of this stone from the hack. So it is a precise shot, but it's certainly there for 2.
You don't want to overthrow this if you're Emily Bowles here, John. Just throw about the 11.5. The sweepers will keep it out and try and keep it straight, and then they'll be able to manage it from the break point in or the hog line in. So
Final stone. Emily Bowles looking for 2 to make this a 1-point game. Mara Harris trying to bring this one over. Will it stick around? No, it won't. A great try from Emily Bowles. Maybe a little bit more weight than they were expecting, and that will roll out of the rings. And so Kristen Ryan will take a 2-point lead and the hammer into the 9th. 2 ends left. Don't go anywhere. So it was a chance for 2 lost for Emily Bowles in that all-important 8th end, and now with only 2 ends to go, a 2-point lead for Kristen Ryan and the hammer. They've got to be feeling pretty darn good, Melissa.
I would agree. I think, Team Ryan is really in control of this game right now. They had a few misses along the way as well, but they're just keeping that mindset and trying to get their rocks in good positions, and Emily and her team just struggling ever so slightly, just not getting those 4-4s on their shots. And unfortunately for Emily, I just believe she threw a little bit too much weight on that last stone, and it rolled out and only got the 1. So now it's time for Team Bowles to have to take probably a lot more risk. They really want to try and steal 1 here. I mean, they could force, but then you have to get 3 in, minimum of 3 in the 10th end, and then potentially go to an extra. So I think they're going to play a little bit harder now for the steal.
Stop. Okay. 14-9.
Just a little mistake there on the home end score. It should be 1 for Team Bowles, not for Ryan. We can see the right score there.
They got the total right. They just put it put the scoreboard wrong. That's fine. They'll get it all fixed up. That's just a veteran third, Meredith Cole, concerned with how the scoreboard looks for the For the untrained audience member in a curling club, it's the third's job to put the score up on the board. So Meredith nicely attentive to that. So that will come in the house. I think they probably would have liked that short.
They were actually sweeping it to freeze to the redstone. I'm not sure why they didn't call the second guard. But it's in a not a bad spot. It is usable for Team Bowls. So Team Ryan is obviously recognizing the fact that they are in control of this game, and they also know that Team Bowls is probably going to try and go a little bit more aggressive here. So they're following suit. They can't touch this one. It is touching the center. Oh, it's still on the center.
Caught just enough of it, or not enough of it, to move it off the center line, so it kind of spins into the house, and not a bad result from Kirsten Fox.
Sorry? Either that or the tap. Yeah, kind of like this, then we have both of these we can use. Yeah, I think so. And let's go lefty back, so maybe a good time to use it. Should I, like, just bump here? I got all in more. Yeah, I don't mind just, you want to throw 11?
So I would suggest there's a couple of options here. They're throwing the double right now, trying to leave their blue stone right in the top 12 so that they have kind of block off both axes to the button on both sides. They could throw more of a tap weight and just try and tap both red stones behind the tee line. It is a little dangerous to do that simply because they don't have hammer. But that's a fabulous shot there by Gabby Brissett. If they can just squeeze it out. But I was worried about this. Team Ryan doesn't want to guard up there by any means, so I think he wanted to try and keep things behind the tee line so that there's jam possibilities and freeze possibilities. That's pretty much the only way you're going to steal here. So if this peel is made successful, I would assume that Team Bowls would go and put another guard up front there in the center line.
Yeah, that's where not throwing the second guard comes into play.
Exactly.
2, 3, 3.
And, we've been talking this game about the age of Team Bowls and, other university age, but they're also still eligible for the U21 BC Championships. So impressive that they're here in the 3-4 game, regardless of what happens, as they're still all eligible for the U21 provincials and then potentially nationals. So very, very good for a young team, although that guard ends up, I guess, de facto almost perfect draw into the forefoot.
You have to think, too, I know they're only, 19, 20 years old, John, but they actually finished the Canada West Championship on Sunday afternoon quite late. They missed their flight, had to take a late flight, got in at 1 in the morning and had to be here on Monday morning for practice. So, and then they've been curling ever since. So I can imagine that there's some fatigue setting in there as well. Oh, nice shot.
Nice double there from Megan Yamamoto. And yeah, it's something that you lose sight of a little bit as an adult, but I know her dad's watching, so maybe he won't want to hear this, but Mara Harris was doing a university assignment in the stands last night. So that's kind of the reality of a university age curler as well. She said, I got to go. I got to go work on an assignment. I thought that meant I got to go back to the hotel and work on this assignment.
Oh, gosh,
and then I went down the stands a couple ends later, and she was sitting in the stands with her laptop watching the game, doing her assignment.
Amazing.
So, yeah, it's always a juggling act for a younger curler, and obviously, older curlers have jobs and stuff that they have to juggle, but it's often you get time away from work to play in these events, whereas university doesn't stop. So
very much, yeah, good point. But I was almost going to call that dedication. You got to watch curling and do your assignment. So why not be here to do that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Nice call here. Trying to throw the guard on their blue stone, that sitting shot stone. Not over curl it though. I agree. Just by an inch, but Kristen Ryan's not going to take any chances here. There's no point. They've got a 2-point lead. They're feeling very confident. 2 ends to go here, and with the hammer, let's just peel off that center guard.
Watch the back one. Hard, you got it.
And Shannon's going to miss the guard, but does manage to get to the one in the forefoot, and also takes one of her own out. So not the shot she wanted, but it does clear things up a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes the plan B is not so bad. And that worked out well there for Shannon.
Let's make this there.
So Meredith Cole now attempting to come around that guard. Again, trying to get to the top 4-ish area. Top 4, full 4.
Room.
Continuing this pursuit of trying to steal here in 9.
Right here. Curling lots now. Always Gabby, hard. 3. Keep going. Yeah, just out counting something. Keep going, Gabby. Okay, that's good. Good press. That's fine. 16-2.
So even though it wasn't a perfect shot in their mind, it's actually not a bad stone, John, because it's still a guard, and if they can't double peel these, they'll still have a guard to use. So not a bad result at all there for Team Bowls.
No, certainly it's and it's close. It's close to the rings. Right? It's a very usable guard. If Shannon's just going to straight peel this one, and now with your next one, you're coming around a guard that's actually better for you. So, yeah, it's certainly a not a terrible result for Meredith.
A nice shot there by Shannon Jonice. A little better.
So big shot here for Emily. Needs to try and get this draw sucked right around that blue center guard.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you playing? Card? Or around? Going around. Okay. You guys like that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe close to that red. Yeah. Make it good. You got it in.
Shannon and Kristen having a good chuckle with their coach, Diane Dezura.
15-5, yeah. Okay.
So first rock here for Emily Bowles
Really good.
in the 9th end, looking to
Back 4. Back
set up a steal here.
Back 8.
Sounds like it's a little heavy out of her hand.
Back 4. Got a curl. Wake on the red. We don't need it, but mine's good. Mine's good. Key. Mine's good. Curl, wait.
9 is very good.
Make sure it buried. Let us sit. Over curl. Just T-line.
I think they got to go for curl, actually. Ah, beautiful. Nice shot by Emily.
Very nice from Emily Bowles. Almost couldn't have walked it down there any better, and that's a great draw right exactly when she needed it. And this is going to force Kristen Ryan to playing a run back.
Maybe just like tapping the spot. They can put it where it's red needs. We're calling two, so I thought. Just the one, I think.
So this is almost exactly what you talked about, Melissa, that in the moment they wanted Meredith Cole to draw the forefoot, but the guard kind of ended up being better for them.
Agree, yeah. So just such a great shot there. Now, I thought I heard maybe, John, that they're just going to go for the one here, but because that guard's so tight, Kristen Ryan does have a chance here to play the run right now. You might not get a second chance at that.
Yeah, I agree. I'd be a little surprised if she's not trying the run here.
Yep, really hard. Really hard. Right up. Hard. 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 Here. Go.
Yeah, just straight peel.
Yeah, I guess what would be the benefit to just playing the straight peel there, Melissa?
Well, I think there was a thought maybe that I might have heard that they think it's pretty hard to make a perfect guard on this particular spot, but we've seen 3 or 4 rocks come down this path now, so I think Emily Bull's team knows this path very, very well.
Yeah, I agree.
Like a 2, 3?
So what they're thinking is that, if you do this, they miss the guard, you're getting 2.
Correct.
As opposed to you try the run back, maybe you don't make it, whatever, and you're forced or you're giving up a steal.
But yeah, but I think regardless if you play the run and you miss it, you're in the same boat you are now. So I'm not sure why you wouldn't try it when it was that close together. But for whatever reason, that's fine. And the thing is, though, if Kristen is forced to draw on her last, there really isn't a good path to draw to right now. So she might actually have to play the tap on that redstone that's top 12. This one is going to over curl a bit if they need to get off it.
Yeah, a little light. And maybe Kristen was right. Not super easy to make a guard on that path potentially, but in any case, just that hair light from Emily Bowles makes it over curl. And Kristen Ryan will have a chance to score 2 here and effectively end the game.
Yep, just a conversation here as to where they want to put the broom and what kind of weight they want to throw. They just need to throw a nice board, hacked a board weight here. That guard is high enough that there's lots of room to get by it. And like you say, John, she'd love to put 2 on the board and potentially and maybe end this one.
11. You like it?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, right at you. Yeah, I'm reading at her.
Pardon?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So final stone for Kristen Ryan, and it could be a potentially game-deciding one. A soft weight hit for 2.
Close. Yep. 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 Well, yep.
Megan Yamamoto on this. It's flirting with the guard. No,
Oh,
they
it
are
sounds
by.
good.
And
Wow,
a really
what a
nice
shot.
shot from Kristen Ryan.
Beautiful.
2 on the board, a 4-point lead. And we'll see if this is going to be it for Team Bulls or not. Nope, we are going to the 10th. We'll be back after this. Welcome back inside the Archie Browning Sports Centre. A quick look before we get back to our women's 3-4 game at the men's 3-4 game happening right now between Brent Pierce and Jason Montgomery. Brent Pierce made a fantastic run-back double to set up a draw for 2 in the 7th end. That tied the game at 4. They blanked the 8th, and so it's Jason Montgomery with the hammer. They're playing the 9th. And depending on how things go in this 10th end for the ladies, we may switch over for the end of the men's game. So stay tuned for that, but it is still the 3-4 game happening over on our feature sheet between Emily Bowles and Kristen Ryan and Melissa Saligo. A commanding 8-4 lead for Kristen Ryan. What, if anything, can Emily Bowles do to get back in this game?
She's just going to try and throw pretty much everything she can at Team Ryan here. She's going to have to throw at least 2 guards, if not 3, and maybe hope for some half shots or some misses by the Ryan team. The first Ryan Rock went through the rings. They figured that they have enough points on the board. They do indeed at the moment to win this game, so they don't want anything in the rings at all. So they're going to ask Kirsten Fox to throw her second through the rings as well.
So as we said earlier, the winner of this game, and it's looking like it might be Kristen Ryan, the winner of this game is looking like it is going to be Kristen Ryan. Sorry, I repeated myself. Is going to be playing Corinne Brown. Corinne Brown in tonight's semifinal. That'll happen at 7 p.m. local time. That's Pacific time. And we will actually have the men's semifinals here for you on Check and CBC Gem. The winner of this Montgomery Pierce game will face off against Jeff Richard. The winner of that game will then have the right to face off against Team Catlin Schneider in tomorrow's final.
Keep going, Mare. Hard. Keep going, guys. Keep going, Ben. Try and get this pass. Hard. Try and get a pass. Hard.
Trying to get this one by that first guard and trying to drag it as far as they can in, but a little close, but still a good shot by Mara Harris. Good enough position at the moment. And Kristen Ryan and her team, again, not taking any chances, do not want to see anything in the rings there, John. So it's always a pleasure when your second partner gets to throw a stone through the rings.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I always love that as a lead. Tough shot to screw up. The only thing that sucks about it is that it messes with your percentage.
Correct.
They don't count as zeros, but it lowers the number of potential points, so it can affect your percentage. So I never liked that. Never liked that aspect of it. I always felt like, well,
it's a 4 out of 4, really, isn't it, John?
yeah, exactly.
I mean, you made the shot called.
The shot called. Exactly.
Absolutely. I go to bat there for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, I don't know if they're throwing on a third guard here, or they're just trying to get maybe into top 12-foot area here. So back 4. So number one thing is a line here. It doesn't matter really where the weight is. They just want to make sure that it's buried behind those 2 rocks.
And I think it is mostly buried there from Gabby Brissett. So now the peel train will start to be boarded here for Kristen Ryan, as Megan Yamamoto will look to just pick off this top guard. And Shannon's really trying to help this curl. Oh, boy. Well, the door for 4 is not open yet, but it is slightly ajar.
It's ajar, I agree.
P-line. Off. P-line. One of you right here. P-line.
So another draw in behind those 2 corner guards here for Gabby Brissett. Again, about the line, you got to get it buried.
Hard curl. Just curl. Hard curl.
Both rushers trying to get it to curl.
Meredith Cole will finish it off. I don't think it's quite buried, but I also think that doesn't really matter for Shannon Jonice. Just going to rip this guard.
Yeah, definitely not trying to run both this time, just trying to get the one that's closer to the house and the one that's covering off the 2 stones in the rings as well. So just a single peel here for Shannon.
And no mistake made.
Yeah. Right here. How's it feel here? Pretty quick. Okay.
So just a guard here for
Same.
Meredith Cole. Don't have to
On 2.
rush into the house yet.
2, 3. Okay. Hire's better than deep here.
Yeah, great comment there. I like that comment. Higher is better. Those two stones are pretty much open in the rings right now, so you need to get to the pretty much in line with the one that's in the 8 foot, even over curl it ever so slightly. Just show them a piece maybe.
2, 2, 1. Hard. Halfway.
And the brushers are pounding it the whole way here. You can see those arms getting a little bit jelly.
A little bit jelly, yes.
Great job by the brushers. Nicely done. That's a great spot.
Yeah, I know that feeling all too well, and Beyonce had it right. I was never ready for that jelly.
Yep. Yep. Hard. Yep. Hard.
So another peel here for Shannon Jonice. And
Yeah, great shot.
she makes no mistake. And so now it's getting to the stage of the game where Emily Bowles is going to have to start making some rocks count here. And this is really the last opportunity they'll have to throw up a guard.
Do we want this one here or out of the rings? Probably out. Yeah. Right on the Scotties here. Same's okay though? Yeah. Yeah. Let's make it. Give us 4 feet. Okay.
And if you throw this one nice and tight, you at least, I mean, I'm sure Team Ryan is going to go peel it, but at least you have a chance, if there's any miss by any means, to potentially split it. So you don't want this one too high. As you say, John, they're running out of rocks here.
That large applause you're hearing is for Jason Montgomery putting 2 on the board in the 9th end against Brent Pierce. Pierce will have the hammer playing 10. And so that one comes a little bit deep for Meredith Cole, and Kristen Ryan could end the game right here with a double.
Yeah. Okay, what do you want to give me? Just do that 9 down here, that one end when you got the hit and roll.
Yeah.
It's a hair full.
I kind of like, I think I feel like I'm gonna throw like an 8-8 or something,
Okay,
right?
so size for that then?
Yeah, because you guys are throwing like here and it's just,
Yeah.
I think that should be pretty close.
Okay, right out to me,
Yeah.
nice and clean. You
You
got
like
it. I like it.
And this is all about what the skipper wants, John. You heard that conversation, and you know, they talked about maybe just throwing their normal hit weight, but Kristen's feeling it. She wants to throw a little bit more weight, the peel weight, and try and get the double, and this is what her comfort zone is right now.
Yeah, I don't think you can really hurt yourself. As long as you get rid of one of them is great, and if you get rid of both, then that's even better.
Maybe a touch this way? Yeah.
All right, here we go. Kristen Ryan trying to end the game right here if she can. If she can make a double, that will do it.
Yep, yep.
Oh!
Whoa.
Yeah!
Whoa, yep.
Yes!
She's got to be close, John.
And
There it
she
is.
will do it.
Woo!
Kristen Ryan with the double, and that is the game. Experience triumphs over youth here this afternoon. Kristen Ryan will move on to tonight's semifinal against Corinne Brown. What a fantastic run for the young team from Victoria. Emily Bowles making it all the way to 4th place in BC. Absolutely fantastic from them. And speaking of fantastic, we're going to have some bonus coverage of the men's 3-4 game after this quick break, so don't go anywhere. So welcome back, curling fans, for some bonus coverage. If you're just joining us after the break, it was Kristen Ryan defeating Emily Bowles 8-4. That is a final in the women's 3-4 game. So Kristen Ryan will play Corinne Brown tonight in the women's semifinal. And in the men's 3-4 game, we are now watching Jason Montgomery up against Brent Pierce. Jason Montgomery leading 6-4. They had a textbook ninth end set up by a fantastic run double peel from Miles Craig. And so now it is Brent Pierce with the hammer, down 2, trying to keep his provincial dream alive.
And John, we've been watching this, or peeking over to this team, or to this game throughout the afternoon, and just some great curling by both teams and very precise. You do see some steals on the board, so there were some misses kind of middle of the game, but these last couple of ends, specifically that last end for Team Montgomery, was outstanding. Trying to get some of those red stones out of the way there.
Yeah, nice shot there from Kyler Kleibrink.
Yeah,
Gets
great
rid of
shot.
2 reds and leaves his blue up in the top 12.
Trying to hit roll here for Miles Craig. Would love for that one to stay in the rings, but it now, because it's rolled so far, just get it out of the way. So good shot there by Miles. Team Pierce does need to here to tie in the 10th.
Yeah, Team Pierce out of the Royal City Curling Club up against Jason Montgomery out of the Victoria Curling Centre, and that's been some of the cheers you've been hearing if you've been tuning in for most of the women's 3-4 game. A lot of loud cheers for the local squad here, and Jason Montgomery has long been a fixture at these BC Provincials, has made his way to a couple finals, a couple bronze medals, and would love to get his way into a potential semifinal tonight against Jeff Richard.
And that's a great shot there.
Nice draw there from Kyler Kleibrink right behind the corner guard. So Montgomery still lying the 1. But it sounds like Chris Bayer can maybe see enough of this from the hack to chase it. Just debating whether to play the run back here or the chase.
You got to think about that. If you play the run back and you miss it, then you potentially allow your opposition to Team Pierce to set up for 2. So if you can see enough of it, do you take that chance? But the other problem too, John, is that guard is quite tight. If you ever got tight and ticked it, you're actually ticking it into the rings to actually potentially put a 3 on the board. So got to be very careful here. I do like the run. And I think that's what they've elected to play here by the looks of it.
Yeah, Chris Bayer very comfortable throwing this big weight. We'll see if he can pull it off here. That will just over curl on them. I won a provincial bronze medal with Chris back in 2013. Great curler. And has been now a pretty long time teammate of Jason Montgomery.
Cody Johnston here with his first in 10.
Yeah, trying to get another one in the rings here. Got to get behind this corner guard and would like this to be as deep as you can. A nice sweep there from Nick Umbach and Kyler Kleibrink, and that's in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, it does look like it's open. Is the double potentially there, John? I don't know. Looks like you can see enough of that top blue one. Even if you get the hit and roll, perhaps towards the other blue.
You don't have to go too aggressively for
Agreed.
the double, but it's definitely there if you want it. It sounds like they're maybe just only going to play hack or board at this, so not really chasing the double, but definitely the hit and roll over, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And that's smart. I mean, you can see it's probably edge on edge, but they would love to keep another redstone in the rings. Chris Bear with his second stone. Trying to get it to curl and stick around. And like that, what a great shot. Chris Bear.
Wow.
That is a beauty.
That's why they call him Teddy Bear, because he's got a soft touch. Absolutely fantastic hit and roll there. And now this is going to be a bit of a long way back for Team Pierce, as that was an absolute pistol from Chris Bear.
Timeout here, it looks like, by Team Pierce. And I agree, John. Team Pierce does not like the look of this end, because that shot of Chris's has set them up in a great position here. So we'll see if we can. We won't be able to hear. They don't have any mics on, but we'll try and analyze what they're saying.
I don't think there's, we're not going to be able to hear them because we did not have these curlers mic'd up. So we are just left to we're just left to speculate. Melissa, we'll have you with the trusty telestrator. What do you think are the options here for Team Pierce?
Well, that's definitely one option there, John, and maybe leave even a little bit more to the side. They also could put one in behind the guard. I can't quite see the guard, but in behind the guard there. But then you're leaving your opposition sitting too, so not a lot of rocks to come here. I don't think freezing to this redstone over here really is going to do you any good at this moment. I think really you want to maybe come in and try and get into this area in here. You've got to put it in a spot where it's not an easy pick out if you're for Team Montgomery. So I think right now you might have to use your guard here. You're trying to find a way to manufacture two right now. Right where Brent is tapping his broom, I think that's what they're going to do.
So deciding to utilize that corner guard that's up there, but yeah, it was looking like a really good setup for Team Pierce, and then Chris Bear with a phenomenal shot. And so this is a big response here for Cody Johnston. Really needs to get this one fully buried.
Yeah, again, really important line here. You can afford to be, it doesn't have to be perfect weight, but you want it fully buried. You don't want to give Team Montgomery an easy pick out. You're already lying first and second. And this looks really great for line here. That's a terrific shot. Nicely done.
Very nice from Cody Johnston. Big response. You know it's a good shot because the Victoria crowd here is dead silent.
Yeah, timeout now called by Team Montgomery.
So another chance to use the telestrator here, Melissa. What do you think Montgomery's thinking here?
I really think Montgomery, you can't really go up and peel. I really think they need to put something in this area here, maybe even tap back this blue one even a little bit. You have to play to that shot, that second shot right now. And if you can corner freeze to it, you actually are going to take that possibility of having that rock score away from Team Pierce. So I think really that's the only call here, in my opinion. Even a slight bump is okay as long as you can still keep the angle created, that there isn't an easy out there for Brent. So good call here by Jason.
So another big shot here for Big Mon as he needs to just move this bluestone back, sit in front of it. Craig and Cowan picking this up right away.
Oh, got to go for Wade here, I think, John.
Yeah, looks a little bit light, and it looks like it's flirting with that guard.
Oh, boy,
Gotta get it by. Miles Craig leaning on it, but that will be all over that blue guard.
Plan B here. Yeah. Chris does manage to make the audible, and it rolls right in front of the red stone that is shot rock at the back. But, wow, yeah, maybe just about 5 feet light.
Yeah, certainly on the light side from Jason there. But, yeah, a good plan B, because if you're heavy there and you ever go by it or even just kind of click off the side of it, that's a disaster. So see what Brent Pierce decides to do here.
So, John, I don't know.
We're back to the. This is the most the telestrators ever.
I know. I'm having fun with the telestrator today.
Yeah. Well, when you don't have the player.
What
mics.
do you think? Hey, do you think you can come either freeze, but even tap that one and roll this way in behind that guard and lie 2 here? I'm not sure there's a ton of room there to do that.
It doesn't look like a ton of room to me, but I mean, I guess it's possible. The other thing is I guess the problem here for them, Melissa, really is that you can't really freeze. Like you need to get rid of this red shot stone in some way. And wow, did that plan B ever work out well for Jason Montgomery?
Agree. Here? Yeah, I mean you could maybe draw the same way, but I'm not sure that gets you what you want. You'd have to play a run double on your last. But yeah, they're looking at tapping that redstone, and I think that might be what you have to do. Either, again, if you look at it, there's not a ton of room right now to come. So if you come, as we just saw, you can actually come. There's a little bit of weight here. Just push this one back and maybe have enough weight to squeeze back here somewhere, but I'm not sure you'll be second shot.
Yeah.
Don't you like my rock? Isn't that good?
That's a really good rock.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's the rock somehow got deflated.
Oh, ouch.
It's not your fault. You're doing the best you can.
I'm using the tools.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
Exactly.
So I do think that's what they've elected to play here. Maybe about, I don't even know if they're going to need to throw hack. Maybe back line-ish. Not a lot of ice there, though. Hey, John?
No, I'm guessing it's because the port is so narrow that, Brent wants to throw maybe a little bit more weight just to try to keep it a little straighter through that port. But, these are the types of shots we've seen Brent Pierce make so many times over the years. But this is definitely a huge one right here. First stone in 10.
Yeah, not only does he have to navigate the port, tap the shot rock back, but try and roll for second or third shot, but second preferably.
Nick Umbach been on it, trying to get it by. Will it get by? Oh my
it
goodness.
Didn't. Oh, I thought it did. Oh, boy.
That was the worst possible scenario for Brent. If that overcurls a little bit, at least you remove that red stone from the top 12 foot. But it just brushes enough of that top red to go right through the hole. That is absolute disaster for Team Pierce, and really so close to making it perfect. Great sweep by Nick Umbach and Kyler Kleibrink, but just
Wow.
could not get it there. Unbelievable.
So Team Montgomery having to look at a couple of different options here. One of the options, which I thought I like at the beginning there, was maybe bringing one in here to top 4 in this area here. You could even be second shot a little bit higher. They also looked at perhaps hitting their own red onto blue and just eliminating this stone, which is potentially the 3rd point counter. I don't mind that. I guess that would guarantee you a tie for sure, if for any reason. But I think that's the same shot is there for Brent right now, and that's why I'm not sure that I would play the hit. I like this draw.
I think if you played the hit, it'd be something you'd regret.
I agree. Just putting this one top 4, top button.
You got a chance to end it right here.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's the final stone here for Jason Montgomery, the men's 3-4 game here at the BC Provincials. Looking to make a face freeze on his shot stone in the button, and I think safe to say if he makes it, it's going to be very difficult for Brent Pierce to find a winner.
So Miles, Craig, and Troy Cowan on this one. Trying to keep it straight now. Now going for weight, I believe.
That looks light again.
Oh boy, gotta get it by the top one. I think it's over curled again. Now they want to punch it.
Oh, now what does Brent have? Again, another decent plan B from Jason Montgomery, as just moving that red stone at the top of the 12-foot, I think probably takes away the shot he just threw.
I would agree. If we can kind of see it from the hack end, we could see how much space there is, but I think you're right. I think they moved that one in the top 12-foot just enough. So it is the run back here, the only option left here for Brent Pierce. There's a good look at it.
Yeah, blocked a little bit. There we go. We can see there. That's over-buried almost now. And also it just shrinks the port too, because you still have to miss this corner guard. So this is the only shot for Brent Pierce. It's about a 10-foot angle run back and needs to stick it, and doesn't really have a lot of room to roll either, Melissa, as the third shot for red is full 8-foot. So this needs to be almost dead made for Brent Pierce to force an extra end.
Yeah, good point. It's and not only are you making this long run back, like you say, John, but having to stick it as well. Not a lot of room to roll. So big shot here, obviously, for Brent Pierce. 10th in, last stone, and hoping for a tie.
So here we go, final stone. Brent Pierce needs an angle run back to send this to an extra and keep his provincial hopes alive. Nick Umbach trying to hold it. Does it have the angle? No, it does not. Over curls on Brent Pierce. And the roar from the crowd tells it all. The hometown Jason Montgomery rink from the Victoria Curling Centre will move on to tonight's semifinal to play Jeff Richard at 7 p.m. We'll have that game for you live here on Check. And speaking of Check, let's throw it back to Jeff and Stacy now in the studio.